Possibly at my most vulnerable right now. I cannot sleep. I clearly have Wi-Fi back. Forgive me if I speak low at the moment. I noticed, I guess just checking my emails when everything came back, I see a lot has happened. I have work in about 4 hours, but I find myself a bit troubled with some of the information that has been sent, and I'm not going to be too vague because it's very public. And I only wish to appeal to whatever sanity is out there. It's very easy to get caught up into anything, especially this thing, whatever this thing is that we're all doing, creating, or a part of. I don't know if it's so much as just a bunch of lonely people finding solace with one another and getting lost into pointless beefs. Like I see some of the screenshots that were sent to me, people are just going crazy doxing one another. And I want to propose just for people to think for a second, like, what is it worth if it gets to that point? What do you have to lose? Everything. What do you have to gain? I don't know. Clarity? No. Clout? Maybe I got you? Something like that. Is it really worth it though? Some of the very alarming things I've seen has me a little bit disgusted. I'm no better than anybody else. You know, why not share just a random story? I don't know if anybody's watching because right now this is a very strange moment in time. Those sleepless nights where I just have nothing but my own self as company, just everything in here. And I guess when I feel this vulnerable, I probably don't want to see myself at the moment. And if there's anybody in the chat, I just thank you for taking the time to be here. So the story I'm going to share, today was a day off, and thank you for everybody that showed some love to my old friend, somebody I do call a brother, Fred, who is from Palestine, and me having, Jewish heritage on my father's side. Going into that job years ago, I was taught he and I could never get along. And now look at us years later. I would take a bullet for that man. When I was at the pool today, of all things, and just let this put things into perspective, because I see a lot of people losing themselves in the pursuit of just anger. And I mean, I do stand by the mission and its cause. We're going to take down bad people. I believe in that. I believe it is right and it is just. But before everybody goes all docs crazy, though, that's not the aim of the mission here either. It's just to put a spotlight on people that are manipulating and abusing their platform and doing disgusting things like the aforementioned in the prior video, who I really hope is not trying to come back in the spotlight, because I got an email showing just that, and I don't know if it's recent or not. And if it is, then we're going to deal with that when the time comes. So what I'm trying to get to, I just keep getting lost in the thoughts. At the pool, relaxing, I found myself completely overtaken by the strangest thing. This is something I've never done in the history of my life at 38 years. I've never been this compassionate or empathetic. There's a bee in the pool. Okay, I had the whole thing to myself. There's a bee in the pool, and I saw it was alive. And all I could focus on was getting that thing, because I know, so silly perhaps, but I remember learning how important they are to like our ecosystem and whatever the case. I don't think we could really have humanity if we didn't have fucking bees, believe it or not. Go look it up for yourself. And I tell you that to tell you this. I didn't even need the reason though. I just saw a creature, a fellow life suffering, and all I could think about was getting the bee out to safety and nursing it to wellness. I must have looked like a lunatic sitting at the pool, or in the pool, halfway in the pool, fucking drying off a little bee on the concrete with my shirt, and just paying such close attention to its movements. I saw it struggling and trying to dry off, and for about maybe 40 minutes I spent trying to ensure the survival of this little thing, which as a kid, I'd go and man, as a kid, I'd stomp lizards when I came to Florida from New York. I guess comparably, I was a little monster back then. I didn't have a respect for life like I do now, which is why I believe people that have this gift that is life, unless you believe in chaos theory and we're just existing for the sake of existence, that's cool too. I personally don't have a conclusion on the thought, but I see something beautiful and nurturing this one shot we all have, and doing something special with it, saving one another, being there for one another, being a brother or a sister or a mentor for one another, seeing all the madness and people going after other people. And I don't know if some people out there have forgotten why they've even started the beef to begin with. And it I don't know, I guess it just makes me a little sad for all of us, for all our good intentions. We still submit to our, what my father would call, lower mind thinking, our primitive need to want to see someone we don't like for reasons we may have forgotten to suffer. Just think about some of the things that you are going to commit your life's energy to, because this is it, as far as we know, unless you've been granted a gift to see whatever's on the other side. When I was under for lung surgery, there was the white light, that was the anesthesia, and there was oblivion, darkness. I don't recall any dreams. I was pretty fucking drugged up at the time. But, put things in perspective. I know what I'm trying to accomplish here is greater than the sum of its parts. Yes, I do believe in achieving a community, like a fucking neighborhood, a grand old big neighborhood where people are looking out for one another. And when they see something wrong, like really, really wrong, I'm not talking about somebody being offended and somebody's feelings getting hurt. I'm talking about predators, people that blackmail or hijack other people's channels. That's a direct shot, and that's the first of a few more to come. Keep my name out your mouth, homeboy. See, look at me go. Like, I'm sitting here preaching peace, and I just think of somebody beefing with me, but I think of what this human being has done to somebody else. So is it my empathy? Is it my compassion? Or is there some form of a protector in me? Or is it just somebody being primitive and angry at anger for the sake of anger? An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind and all that, right? So look, I'm not claiming to be anybody special with any extra answers to any of the grand questions. I just acknowledge that we all see a hell of a lot of problems in this world, in this country, that have been ignored for far too long, have been prevalent. Human trafficking, child abuse, corruption in the most trusted agencies and authorities. And I see the working class citizen, us, taxpayers, I don't know if middle class really exists anymore. It's just, survival. And there's people living in luxury, living by a different set of rules. You'd learn that if you'd simply talk to people in the hospitality business. I saw an interesting video. I know it's very mainstream, but on Vice. I should pull this up for my next solo live, which is going to be tomorrow, which is tonight. So it's after work. Boy, I got work in 4 hours, don't I? But I remember it was a man that was in charge of a very nice hotel, and he went on a 1-hour talk about the difference of people who didn't have as much money versus the people that had exorbitant amounts of money. The distinction was how they treated the help and the staff. The people that were wealthy tipped the least, had the least respect, dehumanized the staff, propositioned the staff to do favors for their amusement. And then the working class, I guess we're just built differently. The regular, everyday Jane Doe, John Doe, Q public, whatever. I think we somehow have some level of consciousness of acknowledgement that we're on this experience and we're struggling with our lives at stake, trying to get to the next day fed and our families fed. And in that, there is a respect that is unspoken. I'm going to pull up that video. I know I can't play it. Maybe I'll play the audio. But this guy talking about how the rich folks would rent out the entire hotel, give nothing more than a $5 tip to the staff, and leave their rooms in complete disarray with disgusting objects, toys, and used condoms and fluids and everything everywhere. Whereas, again, no matter how lazy you think an average person like you and I are, we were more well kept, respectful. That's something I want to tap into. That is the magic I see in the possibility of whatever the hell this journey is that I've started. And I cannot pretend that I am not overwhelmed and scared. I'm scared. I check those sub counts. I'm trying to stop. I do it less. I'm disconnecting. How is it that one learns to connect by disconnecting? That's going to be, I guess, quite an ambition of mine. I'm trying to stay connected with as many of you individuals as possible, showing that I respect the individuality of every single one of you, trying to respond to every email and every comment. Somebody made a joke about me heart reacting all the comments. It's because I take the time to look and see the feedback, because I know there is something special just being acknowledged, people taking time to listen to me. If anybody's listening right now, yes, that's right. I don't know. It could be one person in the chat. I don't know. I don't know. I know that I'll check the numbers whenever I wake up, if I go to sleep tonight, and I'll wonder, did I say something stupid? No, I don't really think like that. But I know I'll try to find fault. And that's, I guess, where I'm going to blindly rely on all of you to understand whatever it is I'm trying to accomplish. I tell people now it's not a channel, it's a movement, and that I believe in it, and I do. And I know that can make me sound crazy, so call me crazy. But please, to all of us, we're in some of the same circles, same chats. I see a lot of familiar names when I go around the YouTube streets. I can't believe that's in my vernacular these days. The YouTube streets. Hey, Phil, what's up? How you doing over there? I'm on the internet superhighway over here. Eli, what the fuck am I even talking about? Don't listen to me. I am sleep lacking, and I guess there's nothing more left of me than just what I have as my intentions, and some gratitude and humility, and trying to understand my place in all of this. And a huge thank you from the very bottom to the very top of my heart to everybody that does take the time to email me and ask how I'm doing. And equally, I'll ask how you're doing, keeping me updated on some of the drama you're going through and letting me know about your state of mental health. And if you haven't messaged me, I don't care that I have over 500 or whatever the number is now. I will read each and every single one, because I recognize behind those numbers are people, other me's, just with different perspectives and bodies. And, I know I'm just talking silly. I don't know if I should be drinking coffee in an hour or just hitting the sack, but I wanted to touch base. I know I left that post pretty vague, and it all worked out, and I got to spend some time with some good people. Maybe that was very, very much needed, so to speak, what the doctor ordered. And I got to maybe forget about this whole thing for a little bit, but I've accepted it as a part of my life now. And if I have any say in it, it's here to stay and grow. It's like a garden. It's like a child. You got to nurture it and you got to love it, right? I'm going to go now. And I hope this message finds you all well in the waking hours. I'll check the chat another time, not now. And I'm sorry for that. Well, let me stop apologizing. Let me just say thank you. How about that? please protect your energy and what you put it toward, and save the justice for the real causes, not for silly little beefs that'll be insignificant in a week, a year, in the grand scheme, in the totality of your lifespan. Think about it. How much is some fucking YouTuber that's popping off at the mouth making videos and cashing in on your views going to bother you when you're walking down the aisle or watching your son graduate or being a pillar of the community or doing whatever it is? Just think about what matters and put yourself first and love one another. I see the duality, I'm going after people, but people that I truly believe are bad and that don't deserve a platform because they abuse it. And I have all of you at my 6, just like you all got me. That's it. Goodbye. Hi, everybody. Bye, everybody. Whoa. Okay. So let's address something right now, I guess. I don't even want to say your name, man. But you have been amongst, I don't know, a small pocket of individuals that have been hell-bent on watching me fail and hating everything I do. And I acknowledged you on a chat. And I referred to your name as your namesake is clearly of a Asian descent. And I said, it's a shame we don't get along. I happen to love that country. Yes, maybe in with hindsight, it was a foolish thing to say or do, but that was me trying to express that I really didn't want to have any negativity between us. Never did. Not any of you. Never did. So I've had trouble understanding some of the hate that I've gotten from some of the channels that are from my past. I don't understand. I never. We even had a whole thing where we went to court and I apologized and I did everything I humanly could. And then everywhere I go, I see the same names. And I saw when this first started out, trolls hopping in and spreading misinformation about me, like literally lies and spamming my channel. And I don't know what a lot of you expected when I finally said something. I had to hit ignore on some large platforms that made videos about me. People that I always respected and appreciated were adding my name and making videos saying terrible things, and I don't know what a lot of you expect me to do with that. Yeah, all right. No, I'm not gonna fucking, I know I sound probably emotional. Josh once told me when we were doing Stuck in the Middle and we'd have our late night studio talks when we couldn't stop fucking talking, and it'd go into like around this time, he would tell me there's a weird untapped energy at these late night hours because everybody's normally asleep. And as crazy as it sounded, it made sense to me. What is this collective energy that makes people like insomniacs or the most of the world right now are in this area? Their energy is deflated. It's at a low frequency, and a lot of people with a manic mind just have everything happening at once. So let me officially, just in finality, extend an apology if my responding to what I always viewed as negativity was being met with more negativity. It was not my intention or purpose. My intention and purpose was to express confusion, because I just can't and don't understand why some people have taken to slander and whatever the case. But this has gone on long enough, huh? Good night. Find health, find love, find purpose.